Hey, it's Birdman, and it's Birdman on the Mountain, powered by Cellular One. It's time for the community shout here in Pinetop Lakeside. I'm hanging out this morning with good old Kirk Webb. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great.
So we're hanging out, and you're going to tell me a little bit about the stuff that's going on with the fire district.
Yeah,
stuff
brand
like that.
brand new year going on,
Yep.
and it's that time of year to start thinking about what new resolutions, things like that.
Yep, and you can say hi to everybody on the screen. So
How's it going?
That's new.
Yeah, I see that.
So what have you got going on that people need to be aware of right now?
Well, one of the biggest things as far as what my job entails and getting that education out there for the public, talking about we're still in wood fire season where people are having fires inside their homes and to stay warm and
Right.
all that fun stuff, the ambiance or whatever. But that also can be one of the hazardous things that start home fires.
Right.
Chimney fires, and how many people have you actually cleaned your chimney or had it come get it cleaned? And one of the things that we've seen in the last couple of years, some of the piping that's used for your chimneys, it starts degrading because, over time, metal and heat, they don't agree with each other.
Not really, not particularly. Yeah, it's something you got to think about.
So
yeah.
So it breaks down over time. So, there's companies out there that you can have them, run a camera up there and check the integrity of the pipe, see if it's still intact. Or because we have seen some fires where that the pipe has failed and it's gotten into the attic space. And how many people are actually up in the attic space? Probably a few, maybe, but
Yeah.
very little. So you get a fire that starts up in that attic space and it comes down on top of you.
And these are kind of things that people might not even know have happened. Like they might have had a fire, they've had 2 or 3 fires, and actually 3 fires ago, there was actually some smoldering that happened up in there, and it sort of went out.
Right.
But it's sort of charred, and it happens over time. Have you seen things like that where you've come into a house and been like, ooh, wow, this could have been an issue?
Yeah, because we've seen evidence of where the wood is charred over time. It gets a little bit of charring and not enough, because in order to have fire, you got 3 elements. You got your heat, your fuel, and oxygen. Well, in that enclosed space, you got a lack of oxygen, so it sits there and chars. Eventually, it gets to a point where maybe it's charred deep enough, and it's now created an opening. Now it's got some oxygen feeding it. Then that's when you get the fire. So it can char over even up to years even.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea to have that stuff checked, and it's in that hidden space, so it's kind of hard to check. How do you check for that kind of stuff?
Right. So let me ask you, is there a lifespan for a fireplace? Or, is there a recommended, like, hey, is it every year? Should you just check it out? Is it every other year? What's the regimen?
We recommend you get it checked every year, absolutely. Because and it depends on how you're treating it. Because some people I know, like growing up in our home, and my dad, we had some fires that were tremendously hot.
Right.
But we didn't have the metal piping. We had the old style brick mortar chimney. And so does it degrade over time? Yeah, because heat and cement still don't mix. But it withstands a little bit better in some cases. So it depends on how hot your fires are,
Right.
how intense they are, things like that. So a lot of different things that'll be part of what's going to make your chimney last or not last.
Okay. So pretty much keep care of your chimney, make sure that things are up to date, get it checked out. There's chimney sweeps, there's all that kind of stuff. You can do it yourself, but having an expert check in on it every so often probably is not a bad idea.
And if you're going to look at checking it yourself, it's, there's ways to, these selfie sticks actually kind of may be kind of handy.
That's cool.
But it's still, we always recommend that, get a professional to check it because they're going to know those different things to look for. What, whether the piping is starting to change and, and look for that degradation of the pipe.
Right. Okay. Awesome. Now, what else do we've got to worry about? Because you guys don't just deal with homes and fires, you deal with a lot of things. I see you guys blocking off streets all the time.
Yeah, we have the occasional crash in the roads, and and granted, we haven't had a lot of storms this year, but what few storms we've had and ice on the roads, it seems like we have an unusual high number of crashes on the roads. So I think people kind of forget that, hey, when it's wintertime and it's cold, there's ice on the road, you might want to slow down a little bit.
Just a little bit.
And just because you have a four-wheel drive doesn't make it any safer that you can go faster or whatever. Just take your time. And
I kind of see the you get people that are in front wheel drive cars that drive like the car is going to skid off the road at any moment and crash into a burning fire. They act that way. Or you get the people with the four-wheel drive vehicles that think, well, I'm Superman and I can drive anywhere now, so they just go like crazy. Do you see that sort of happening?
That and then you see the ones that want to drive really super slow and they're in the inside lane. And, it's like, go ahead and move out to this what's called the slow lane.
Right.
And because other people may try to pass and then they move over at the same time and those causes crashes. It's lots of different things that will cause a crash, but pay attention. And I do notice, being one of those guys that drives an emergency vehicle, and I'll occasionally drive code 3 with our lights and sirens on.
Right.
And I've noticed that people don't look in the rearview mirrors much anymore.
Not at all.
The cars are made so soundproof, and they've got you don't even have to have the music blaring, and you can't hear things. So
plus they got to build that rear view, I think, into their phone so that they'll be able to see it because they're driving like this and they sort of visually see a space in front of them and they get going and as long as that car's still right there, they know they're not going to run into it. And it's kind of funny when that car disappears, you'll see them all of a sudden wander all over the place, like what the heck is going on? But
I saw a cute little thing on Facebook. A firefighter from California somewhere that made a little video, kind of like more like a PSA, public service announcement, saying that he goes to all these different kinds of things that are tragic, but what's causing the most thing is the little cell phone. People are too intent and concentrated on that cell phone instead of driving what they should be doing. It's like, hey, if you want to be on your cell phone, get in the passenger seat, let somebody else drive.
Right. Yeah. Cool. Anything else that you can think of for today?
No, it's just, let's be safe out there. Let's make 2017 a great year.
That'd be awesome. Cool. So once again, it's Kirk Webb, and you're like, I forget, you get this long title.
I like to say, because the initials are CRM. I just can't remember much is what I like to tell people, but I'm the community risk manager. So it's my job to find out what risks are out there and try to mitigate those risks. And I look at my goal is to try to keep the guys from responding on calls.
That's good. No, that's a good goal. And, today, obviously, you're talking about the chimney fires and thinking about that and on the roadway. So you're with Timber Mesa Fire and Medical.
Yep.
We appreciate everything you guys do in the community.
Thanks for helping us out and helping us get this word out.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is see who else is going to be coming in today. I know I get at least one other person, and we'll be right back in just a minute.
Thanks.
Okay, back as I promised here at the Birdman Media Studio. And with me now, I have Minnesota Jody.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
So how's the hair thing going?
Oh, good. I just hired a new gal named Debbie. She came up here from Chandler, Sun Lakes area.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. So obviously my favorite place to get my hair done. And you do all kinds of sort of different things. There's still people still talking about that moisturizing heat treatment thing.
Yeah, cool. Yep,
Yeah.
we're I'm here today to talk about the Senior Center, though.
Awesome. Cool. So tell us.
Okay, so the Senior Center this just Saturday, January 14th, is having a super sale. So if you haven't been to the Pinetop Lakeside Senior Center, they're behind the library that's behind Blue Ridge High School. You just turn at the light there on Woodland. And they have a thrift store, and they're going to do 50% off everything in the thrift store. They're going to have fry bread, chili. They're going to have a whole bunch of books for sale. So they're trying to get people to come down and realize that they're there and come check it out and see what it's all about.
Now, I've heard you talk about them before, and you always say they have really great lunches. Is that the deal?
They do, and I'm not a senior, but I can still eat lunch there, and it only costs me $7. I just have to call the day before and let them know because they only make enough for who's coming.
Oh.
I think if you're a senior, it's $6. And then there's some things where you can get it for free, too. But the gal that cooks there used to own a restaurant.
Oh.
And her food's really good. You get soup, salad, dessert, a lot of food.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, you can't get lunch for that amount of money anywhere.
Exactly.
I mean, it's kind of tough, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's like your mom made you lunch. It's warm and with love. And
Very cool. So this is 50% off. It's the thrift store. And yeah, it's kind of funny because people don't realize there's things past that intersection. I don't think.
Everybody gets to the stoplight and they turn left or right to go to Woodland, and they have no idea that other side, there's stuff down there.
Yeah, so the Senior Center, you've got the Drug Coalition things down there as well, and a couple other things.
Yeah, I think there's an auto mechanic place down there.
Very cool. Okay, anything else you want to tell us today while you're here? Kind of a brief little moment.
It is a brief little moment. Yep, I'm here. I'm on the advisory board for the Senior Center, so we're coming up with activities and things to kind of revitalize that, because we feel like it's a really important thing to have in the community. So if you haven't been there, you should come down on January 14th and check it out.
Okay, January 14th. Make sure you check out Senior Center. I don't think I'm going to be in town because I'm headed out for SHOT Show, but definitely go check that out. We'll put up any more information, like the telephone number and that on the line notes here, so you can check it out. I think that's going to be it for this Community Shout. I'm Birdman here for Birdman on the Mountain, powered by Cellular One. And, Cellular One's got a lot of cool things going on right now. You got to make sure you're checking out their page, because they've got some new programs that are coming in this thing called Super Network that you can get into a phone service like $20 a month. So, yeah, you got to check it out. There's billboards up about it and things like that. So make sure you're checking that out. Naked Mobile's taking on more fun kind of thing, not so sexy or edgy, but more fun and happy kind of things like that. So check that out. As I say, I'm Birdman, and if I don't see you around town, I'll catch you right here on the web.